Hi, everyone. Lisa Haven here, and so much is happening right now with regard to the U.S. economy. Our dollar is dropping, inflation is spiking, so much is happening. Let me show you a couple of things that I'm talking about here. Here's a couple articles. The Wall Street Journal. Inflation accelerated in March due to strengthening economy, rising energy prices. And it says consumer price index rose 2.6 in the year ended March and seasonally adjusted 0.6 from February. Then we have The Economist, American inflation spike begins. We also have CNN, Communist News Network. Practically everything is getting more expensive in America. You guys probably noticed that. And then we have CNBC, consumer prices rise more than expected, pushed by 9.1% jump in gasoline. Then we have NPR, consumer prices jump. Should you worry? That is sparking a heated debate. In fact, I've got an economist on our program today to discuss all of this that's going on, and even more importantly, this one here on Reuters, dollar at 3-week low as treasury yields subdue, and Wall Street Journal, the dollar is sliding share in global currency reserve, which is a red herring. So lots of things are happening. Well, to bring us inside information on the economy, I've got Bob Kudla, who's at TradeGeniusAcademy.com. You guys can see his website here, and I want to encourage you, take advantage of what he has here because he really trains you how to deal with cryptocurrencies and stocks. And right now, using the code Easter, you can get a major discount on some of these packages that he offers. But the reason that I personally use him because he knows what's going on with the economy. So Bob, are you with me over there?
I am, Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning. So you heard all those articles that we talked about, and I know on TradeGeniusAcademy.com, you've got so much insight that has been shared over the years. You've been right. You've been accurate. In fact, you came on my channel about a month ago and accurately predicted what's happening now. But what is going on with all the stuff I just shared you? Prices going up and everything. Give us some insight intel on that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you're correct. Those articles probably are understating the problem. It doesn't take a trade genius to see that you can't buy a home. It's what, 20% over bids for any home out there in the market. You can't build a home, $24,000 over last year for building costs. You can't buy a used car. It's the highest resale value in a used car. New cars are out of range, and you have food prices now probably are 16% year over year, and I think inflation is going to just explode. The Biden administration has made a Keynesian decision, probably going to be a disaster for our country here in the next 2 years as all this money they're throwing into the economy here to buy votes is going to actually it's going to boomerang on the people they're trying to help. They won't be able to afford it. People call it inflation, people call it stagflation. It's really inflationary depression. All the numbers are going to look like everything is going up, but the ability for people to afford anything is going to go down.
Sorry, the ability for
even your dog agrees with me.
He does. There's a guy that, just for all you listeners out there, there's a guy that's like going past the window. I'm like, okay, Dietz, come here. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Hey, look, my dog may break out in song too. The nice thing about the day and age today is that nobody cares about it anymore.
I know.
But yeah, so look, there's a problem here. The Keynesians are in charge. They think free money is free, and it's proving to not be the case. And all we have to do is get a supply shock, like in like the grain markets, or we're having supply shocks right now with microchips. We're shutting down auto plant lines. So it's not going to take much for this thing to become a problem into becoming a catastrophe. So you have to protect yourself, and the way we're doing is we're buying anything commodity. We've been strong in uranium. We talked about that last month. I've been waiting for gold and silver. This morning, silver and gold decided to break out of its downtrend line. This is huge. This is what we all been waiting for. This is the probably the only way in which the Federal Reserve is going to pay attention when they lose control of gold and silver. And I think We're finally there. Copper's going up in price. Energy names are going up in price. Uranium's going up in price. All these things are going to add input costs to our system, and it's going to be a nightmare.
So, what direction do you see it going then? Would you say more inflation style? Is that kind of what you predict is coming for the United States?
Yeah, so, and I'll use real estate as an example. So prices are going to rise on everything, and less people are going to be able to afford things. So the thing that you're going to watch going into a recession from this inflation is things that people don't need. You're going to start seeing sales start falling off in those areas. And then you're going to start seeing people what they call substituting. Hey, I can't afford beef anymore, now I'm going to have to go buy chicken, that kind of environment. And so we're definitely going to do inflation first, recession second, deflation third. And we're probably a year's worth of this inflation coming before the next step hits.
So it's just going to be kind of this wave. Well, I know that you offer solutions like at your Trade Genius Academy. You tell people, okay, now's the time maybe to invest in the home or refi or these kinds of things. You can give direction like that on Trade Genius Academy, right, as well, especially knowing the predictions in the economy. That's what you do there as well, correct?
Yeah. So we do is, so we give a macro view, but we also teach you how to trade. And then we have an algorithm that you have actually access to so that you can look at different stocks or sectors that you like, and it literally says buy and sell. So it's pretty straightforward. We have chat rooms that you can communicate with us all day long. And then also we provide trades every day. So this morning we put a trade out for getting into copper stocks. Yesterday we got into iron ore. We've already been in silver and gold in anticipation of this move, and we've been in uranium in anticipation for the move to continue. And we see none of that changing. And you'll see oil prices go up again this summer. And so we kind of put you into things that are moving and where you can grind your way to profitability nearly every day.
So you give them all the tools they need to save their family, if you will, during a crisis situation or even in an upturned economy. It prepares you for stuff that is coming ahead. And that's why I really like Trade Genius Academy. And all the information, by the way, is in this blue box down here. You guys can see the link to Trade Genius Academy. And again, 45% off all non-bundled items. Use the code Easter. But I mean, with you said inflation coming and then deflation. And this kind of wave that you're predicting, I don't think you're wrong on that. How we've been really looking at things with the lockdown measures, the businesses being shuttered and closed. I mean, we're really in danger, as I like to put it, as an economy. We're already downturned more than the Great Depression, if you will, with everything that has happened. And during COVID, we witnessed massive food lines. And now we still have a level of those food lines, but now we have the prices hitting our pocketbooks on everything from gas to food. What do you predict as far as like our everyday goods? Are those going to rise?
We're double digit for sure. They're going to say it's 2 or 3%, but it's already 6-8%. It's going to go to 16% as this thing lays out. They're putting so much money supply into the economy, Lisa, that it's going to go into all the things that people need. And rent's going up, food's going up, energy's going up. Your ability to borrow is going to go up in price too. So all that's going to be working against the consumer, and all the money they're throwing into the economy to help the little guy is going to actually hurt the little guy even more. So there's no free lunch out there, and this is going to become readily apparent to people very fast. Look, I'll give you one anecdote that blew me away. Is that we went out to eat, myself, my wife, and my daughter, and we had 2 burgers, a sandwich, and a couple glasses of wine. It was $170. I mean, who can afford that? We just looked at each other and said, well, I think we're going to be eating at home more in the future, So that's just crazy. And it's just not that. You look at food prices, or just you go to the grocery store and the bags of food are filled with more air than food, and boxes are getting smaller. Deals are becoming less. And so, and then here's the thing the sleeping giant here is China is running out of food, and they're scouring the world for food. So in addition to this inflation that we're creating, we're also creating an environment where, other countries are going to be importing our food stuff, which is going to drive prices even higher. And we saw that happen before when we saw bacon prices, double and triple last time China did a big buy. This time they're buying everything they get their hands on from us. So people just need to get ahead of it. That's all you can do right now is to put yourself in a situation where you can make more money than the costs are going up. And that's one of the reasons I started Trade Genius 7 years ago, was anticipation for just these events.
Yeah, and it really has been helpful. So I want to encourage you guys, get TradeGeniusAcademy.com and check it out. And, here's the other thing I'll mention in closing is all the big corporations quadrupled, tripled, made more money during the pandemic. Your Google, your Facebooks, your Amazon, and they want to keep all these restrictions going. The biggest loser was the middle class in this entire pandemic. And so the poor got poorer and the rich got richer. And that's really what I think you try to help fill the gap with at Trade Genius Academy, because there's a lot of simple things you can do. Can you share all the information on that as well, and any concluding thoughts?
Yeah. So what you have to do, you have to be in the sectors that have the pricing power for you to be able to outrun inflation. So we'll put you into those, and we'll teach you how to find the stocks within those. And we look at this market every single day. So we don't see anything changing right now. So right now, prices are going to go up. They're going to paper over everything. The Federal Reserve said they are not raising interest rates. So that means costs are going higher. And that's they're telling you they're not going to do anything for 2 years. So we're going to go into a 1970s kind of environment again. And if you're young, ask your parents what it was like, or your grandparents. And it was not a pleasant place to be unless you can make more money than the prices are going up. So that's my thought to leave you with today, Lisa.
No, thank you so much for that. And thank you for coming on the broadcast. And again, if you guys want to check it out, it's TradeGeniusAcademy.com. The link you can see in the blue box below me, or you can check it out in the description box below. Well, thank you again, Bob, for coming on. I truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thank you guys for listening in. I'm Lisa Haven, and that was Bob Kudla signing out.